Hello everyone, and welcome to my new building series. So, this is my first solo series as far as I'm concerned. Well, actually I used to do Walter time-lapse, but basically this is going to be my little tutorial series where I'm going to be teaching and giving some tips on different styles and overall building techniques that I have come to find for myself. Yes, this will be similar to other building tutorial series that you may find. Oftentimes information in the building community is kind of standard. Everyone has their own techniques though, so if you'd like to know what I do, then this is a series for you. If you couldn't tell, we are doing Western stuff. I'm in charge of building Frontierland on MDO, which is Preston's My Disney Obsession Park, which you can see Season 2 of just went up, so go watch that. But we are going to be working on some Western buildings today because we need a town. Now, one of the MDO builders has actually gone ahead and started building some buildings. I felt that he needed some more flat facades, so that's the kind of building that we're going to be working on today. We're going to be filling this little row right here, possibly over there too, one here, and I'm considering building very small facades that you can't walk into right here, similar to another small facade town that will be set up here. There's a lot of work that's been done on Frontierland, so I don't know if this has been shown on camera at all recently, but basically we're going to be doing a lot. And in this episode, like I said, we're focusing on Western style since it's kind of my specialty. So, sort of a principal thing in Western is that you need a lot of wood in general. Wood's pretty much the standard block type you're going to be using. And cobble will also be thrown in there a lot. It's basically any sort of man-made structure up to, let's say, mid-1900s. It's going to be focusing a lot on woods as a material. Okay, so I'm going to actually go off into the distance and I will be right back once I am there. Alright, so I have set up 4 different sizes of structure that I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to be having one large saloon building that I'm going to be focusing on. I'm going to do one sort of vertically focused shop building that will be multi-story and then go back far, so it'll be kind of thin looking. And then I'm going to have just, a generic kind of size building, and then another sort of regular size. I believe the first I'm going to work on is the smallest, so I'll work my way up to the largest. Okay, so I'm thinking that I want to do a 2-part building with an extension on the side. So lay down your foundation first, no matter what style you're building. Foundation sort of plans out what your build's going to look like. I'm going to be using oak wood for this one. You generally want to choose a base log and then you choose an accent wood. And then you can add on to that as time goes on. Okay, so I'm building the frame of the house right now, or building, whatever this is going to be. And I'm thinking there's going to be a tall section right there, and then a slanted roof coming off for a little extension. Now in Western, it's kind of restricting in the sense that a lot of Western buildings are built with straight lines, and so you have to figure out how to make, especially in small scales like this, how to make a Western building look interesting. And a lot of times that's just adding depth to the walls. And you'll hear builders say that term a lot, adding depth. It's sort of a general art term, and in building it's very crucial because you're building in a block game, and everything in this game is squares, and so you really got to figure out how to. Okay, I think I want to move this here. You really got to figure out how to get a good shape across using solely a bunch of squares and cubes. In Westerns, a lot of times there's sort of like a little boardwalk in front of all the buildings, and I'm going to be doing that in one of the areas. I have a little wooden walkway going across, so all the buildings I'm going to be building today have these little boardwalks. And that'll just continue across all of them. I'm feeling like this building should be red. So I'm moving back. See, I moved back all the frame right there because I realized that my boardwalk has to be 3 blocks. So that means the building just has to be a little bit smaller, which is fine. I'm going to get the roofs planned out. So this is that slanted roof I was talking about. By the way, if you'd like to come on and see these sort of builds that we've been working on, come on to mc.hyperionparks.com and do /MDO when you join, or go to the teleporter and go to my Disney Obsession. You'll be able to come on and actually see us working on this. A lot of times we've actually been just hanging out on here, so it's a good chance you'll be able to see us and say hi if you want. Okay, so back to what I was saying about making the building red. A lot of times buildings would actually have pops of color in Western style, and so I'm going to be adding red to this one. I think it looks nice, and I definitely think it adds nice little color. Very small buildings like this, you have, without mods especially, you have next to no room for adding details. And so you have to sort of be creative with how you do it. So, for adding windows on this, I'm thinking I'm going to do give one day barrier. So these are some barriers. To spawn them in, you have to do that command I just typed, and it'll work on any version up to I think 1.8. But I'm trying to figure out how to add windows to this and have it look nice. I'm gonna try a few different things. So there's another one. Okay, I'm digging the look of that. I think that looks nice. Going to add some more clay. Actually, I think this side I'll keep planks. So, little trick for adding plank detail to a flat wall is just use stairs. Instantly adds a little bit of depth to the planks. I'm going to do that back here too. And see, instantly makes it look like a more interesting wood wall. And then, do I want it to be red down here? I think so. Now, because of the nature of the way this is set up, this is going to be a facade building, so I don't have to worry too much about making it completely accessible. I'm going to do that, and then just put a stair there. And even though that's kind of crammed, it'll look fine in the end, because this is going to be surrounded by a whole bunch of other buildings. I'm going to change these to slabs up here. I'm going to re-put these, so then we have sort of like a sort of 6 pane window, you know, see the 6 different frames. Okay, do I want to put, no, I don't think so, that's fine. And here, I'm thinking maybe using those as a window, perhaps? I kind of like those more than these, actually. I'm gonna try using them. Here's another thing. Using blocks in ways they were not intended is something you will end up doing all the time. Like, all the time. And it works a lot of times. See, instantly that looks a lot better. I think I'm actually gonna make this whole building brick instead of red clay. And see, a build will develop as it goes on. I just wanted a red color here, and I think bricks look a lot nicer. So, I'm going to change this to brick. I think I'm going to just keep this quiet for a second. Okay, I'm liking the way that that's looking a lot, actually. I think I'm going to do sort of a copycat to that mirrored here. And then this back wall I'll just leave wood. Then I will add the little window panes. Oh, that's cute. I like that. I'm going to then go in and add some heads. Now, a lot of people don't actually have access to heads. If you're on a server where you're lucky enough to have blockheads, then use them to your full advantage because they are some of the best detailing blocks you can ever use. There are actually little head databases you can find. I'll link one in the description if I remember to. And you can actually just find player heads and it'll give you the command you need to put into command block to use them. But they're really great, especially for Western builds, because you can add a bunch of like wood stud details like this. Okay. Because this sort of small detailing was really common. That's another thing. A lot of times when you do Western, you have to sort of build it slightly over scale, which is hard because this is a mainly 1-to-1 scale kind of park. So I'm trying to keep it kind of compressed. Okay, heads again. Let's see if there's a decorative one. Animals? No, not animals. Let's try interior. There we go. Bushes. I think I want yellow, red, pink. Those seem like good colors. Pink, yellow. Actually, let's just do the yellow. See, instantly there's a little bit of color there. No red one there. Well, instantly it's better. Okay, now. One of the most crucial details of making a Western build, like, this is a big one, not something trivial like adding heads, is getting the front of the building right. Oftentimes, well, not oftentimes, like all the time, they would have giant fake fronts, sort of extended above the top of the building. And so to do that, all you've got to do is extend the top wall, so that you get something that's sort of an arch design, like that, and that sort of sells the Western look. And then usually there's some sort of sign up there. So I'll just do like a little design. And there's something. See, instantly that looks very Western. So I'm just gonna do a little arch, I think, back here, like this. And then behind these facades, they'd always have slanted roofs, just because the arches were there to hide the slanted roofs. So there's your little quintessential tiny Western house. You just add some detailing, and yeah, I like that. Okay, tiny house done. I think that came out great. There's actually one more detail I want to add, and then it'll actually be 100% done. And let me show you what that is. Cobble is your friend, especially when it comes to cobble walls. They are a builder's friend. Yeah, I think just one. There, cute little chimney. Okay, now. Saloon next. We'll just go in order. This is editing and post Nathan here. I just found out that this video is actually 40 minutes long, so I'm going to be splitting it up into a few episodes. So the first building is going to be the first episode. I hope you've enjoyed. In the next video, we'll be working on the saloon. And we'll pick up right where we left off. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.